Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mike's Alternate Reality Show, the talk show I put together to talk to creative people that are out there pursuing their passions. This is the first show I'm doing from my home studio, as the studios of CTV are shut down due to the pandemic. Let's face it, like most of society. But it's a terrific show. Later on, we'll be talking to my friend Amie Amis, who's a terrific musician, singer, and actress. But first up, we have comedian Chris Griggs. Chris and I are old friends. We've known each other for over 20 years, doing stand-up comedy and improv together. Let's take a look at some of his stand-up, and then we'll talk to Chris.
I love church. I love my Bible quiz team. Church is good, guys. Church saved my life. I was in Virginia. I was hitchhiking. I was actually in Memphis hitchhiking, but Virginia's a funnier state. I was in Virginia hitchhiking. And this guy picks me up. He seems okay. And after a couple of miles, he looks at me and he goes, "Hey, do you want to party?" I don't know, actually. I need a little more information first. You know what I'm saying? Ask questions in that situation. It can mean anything. It might mean, "Hey, would you like a tasty beer from a cooler?" Or it might mean, "Hey, you want to grab some guns and take back our nation?" There's a range of party, people. You think you're going to an elegant dinner party, you wind up fighting a rhino in front of gambling Asian businessmen. Ask questions. But look, here's how you get out of it. He's crazy, but I know church crazy. I know how to get out of that thing. So I just look him right in the eye and I go, "Yeah, I want a party. In fact, tomorrow night we're having an all-night prayer meeting and Earl's bringing the holy trampoline so we can all jump closer to Jesus." Thank you, guys.
Chris Griggs, how you doing?
Hey, how is anybody doing these days, Mike? We're all just doing the best we can. But I'm not sick, knock on wood, that I know about. I'm quarantined in my apartment. We're going on 2 months now, I guess. And I haven't lost my mind yet, so I'm hanging in.
Are you getting out at all? Are you going grocery shopping? Are you running? Are you walking the
I
dog?
go grocery shopping, and there's a couple of bodegas open up near where I'm at. I live across the street from Central Park, but I don't. What's weird is that when this thing first happened, I found myself almost like every other day, like walking was kind of part of my thing, and then now I go outside and I don't want to be outside that much. I don't know if I've got Stockholm syndrome or what, man. I just go back inside. I did go Saturday. I walked across the street to Central Park just to look and see how many assholes were out. And of course, now I'm an asshole because I'm out. I was just curious to see if they were social distancing or not. And there were a lot of people out, surprisingly, because basically my neighborhood's kind of been like a ghost town. But Central Park was popping, but nobody was. It seemed like everyone was trying to stay 6 feet apart.
Mm-hmm.
Or 3 Kevin James, if you watch Conan O'Brien do a bit about what 6 feet is. So
Okay. I'm seeing in Staten Island, I'm seeing about 30% of people no mask, no nothing. But most of the people I'm seeing are in masks, which is a whole weird way to live too. Seeing everybody in masks when that used to be against the law. It used to be you couldn't even wear a mask in public.
Yeah, we're in the new normal. And that's funny. Like most of the people in my neighborhood have on masks. I find because I'm from Tennessee originally, and a lot of my Southern friends, it's some of them, I guess. It's funnier. I feel like the longer I've known some of my friends, the stupider, those are the ones that are the stupider ones. I guess people grandfather in at a certain point. It's almost like a point of pride that they don't wear a mask. It's also, my stepfather won't wear a mask either. But he's older. I guess at that point, there are sometimes old people just kind of get to that point where they're like, I don't care. If you're going to get me, Grim Reaper, come get me.
The president's not wearing a mask, so there is a...
Well, he says he wears a mask sometimes. You just haven't caught him wearing a mask yet. So it's the news's problem.
Yeah, I'd be afraid of seeing the mask that the guy's wearing sometimes. I tell you.
Yeah, I would think he should do branded masks, like I'm doing great. Dude, I don't know if you know this. you know how he went back and put his name on the checks for people that got a
Yeah.
stimulus check? He went back and put his name on it so that he could basically get to do free campaigning for himself.
Mm-hmm.
I got my stimulus check direct deposit. So I don't know if you know this. There is now basically a marketing letter from the IRS. Hey, I know you got your stimulus check through direct deposit. However, we want you to know. And Donald, it's Donald Trump signing it at the end. And it's all like, I'm glad that I was able to help you in this time of need. It's basically,
Wow.
I mean, like, it's one thing to halt production on people getting money that need it to put your name on it so that you can start campaigning. It's another thing to say, oh yeah, and by the way, let's make sure that we spend some more taxpayer money on getting a letter out for myself.
Right.
Even if you want to do that, it could just be the United States government. It could just be we're all in this together. I don't know, man. The guy, it's funny. I voted. That's also the other weird thing about people. I don't know, maybe it's a Southern thing, but I voted Republican and Democrat and independent throughout my life. So I don't really consider myself too much of a party line guy.
Yeah, same
but
with me.
He's the only guy that's ever been president where I just have a genuine disdain for. I can argue merits there's some good, or at least people try to pretend that there's some virtue almost in all of the presidents of my lifetime for the most part. I guess you could argue Nixon maybe, but I don't know. But it's just basically there's an appearance of some morality. He's on another level. So when people call and ask about me, some of them, I really feel like half of it's how am I doing, but there's another part of it which is just, is it really as bad as they say? Are the hospitals really overwhelmed? They're basically just using me because I'm in New York to kind of test out their own conspiracy theories.
Gotcha. Well, on another note, I've been home. I picked up a guitar the other day for the first time in my life, put on YouTube,
Nice.
Tried to play a note. Couldn't even get the note. Tried to play a D chord. I was like, wow, this really hurts. But just the sound that was coming out was cringe-inducing. Are you doing
You've never
anything like
taken
that?
lessons or anything?
I was watching a YouTube lesson.
Man, now's the time, man. I think
the time, yeah.
now's the time for anything that you can show some kind of personal growth in your life on a daily basis. You need wins, just this whole static thing. I think it's insane. So like I try to have a routine and I try to insert things throughout the day that I feel like I can, at least a couple of them, I could show some progress.
Right.
And I think guitar is great.
Well, but have you done anything like that? Have you picked up any new thing, learning French or whatever?
Well, I will say, like, I have not got, like, I have a minor in music and I have taken guitar lessons in the past from several people and I can't play the guitar. And I've taken piano lessons from several people in the past and I can't play the piano. So I'm I've kind of passed that one. I'm like, I just can't do it.
Right.
And also weirdly, like I used to have a Yamaha keyboard for the longest time, just thinking about piano, but I got rid of it because I became very aware of how creepy it was just to randomly have a Yamaha keyboard in your apartment that you can't play. I don't know. I would have women ask me about it and I would think, yeah, I got to get rid of this. So I am doing some other things. I've mostly just inside baseball, because I'm a comedian and an actor and an improviser. So I've been working on an improv book, which I put off my whole life. And I don't honestly think
that's exactly what I'm asking. Yeah.
I honestly don't think if there was not this pandemic, I feel pretty certain that I would never write an improv book. It's just not a burning desire, but I feel like I've got the time. I've taught improv for probably like 15 years or so. And I've probably done improv for, I don't know, 18 to 20 now. And I kind of have it in my head. So, I'm doing that. I'm banging it out a little. I've already written the book outline and I'm on chapter 4 as far as the first draft. So that's not too bad. And
pretty good.
Yeah, it's not too bad. And then I am working on a couple pilots with a mutual friend of ours, Pete LePage.
Oh yeah, Pete.
And we're kind of in the rewriting, the tweaking, rewriting. We already had a first draft before the pandemic, so now we're trying to do a second draft approach. And then I am working on a short film with a short film script with I'm actually excited. I mean, Akeisha Zoller, who is in Astronomy Club. It's a sketch comedy show on Netflix. There's a whole season on it if you're just watching it. She's brilliant. She's written for Comedy Central. She's a wonderful. I was, like I wrote an outline. This is what I'm proud. I'll be proud no matter what happens. I just wrote an outline and I pitched the person that I ultimately wanted to do it with, thinking she would say no. I already had B and C people in my mind, and she said yes. And she asked, and she wants to produce it. So that's cool. So I'm very excited about that. And then of course there's crying bouts of depression where I look out the window and I have the sads for 3 hours. So I don't know. It's a mixed bag, but I think that's about as good as we're going to get these days.
That's pretty productive, Chris. So I love that bit I just showed, the hitchhiking in Virginia, possibly.
Yeah.
That
was, that's people sometimes have asked me if that's true. That is an amalgamation of truth. Huh?
Do you really hitchhike when you're?
No, I have hitchhiked. So what that story is, it's an amalgamation of two things that happened. One is that there have been more than one time where the automobile I'm in has broken down and I've had to hitchhike to get to a gig. So that part was true, but I'm basically the other part, but no one ever said, do you want to party while I'm hitchhiking? But the part of it, but I did have a creepy person come up to me while I was having lunch one day, sit down and ask me if I wanted to party. That was really what made me want to write the joke, and I go, I don't know. I think I'm going to need some more information first. So then that made me realize how broad that statement is. And we use it all the time, myself included. And so you just kind of so that's the truth of the joke. And then you're just thinking, well, lunch, I don't know. So I just kind of made it a hitchhiking joke because I have been creeped out. I've had a couple of I've had myself hitchhiking, but it's always only for a gig. I'm not going to hitchhike for anything other than I'm not going to make a gig in time. Right. Or I guess if I was, I don't know, somebody was sick, dying in the car or something, but it would have to be something, state of emergency. Right. And I've also, and this has been in the South, where I have picked up hitchhikers, and it's once or twice, and it's always been over the holidays. It's usually when I'm visiting home, it's in the South, and I feel bad. And it's scary. It's a scary deal. And then one other time I was dating someone in Memphis, and she got mad at me and threw me out of the car, which I guess effectively we broke up. And I had to hitchhike because I had a job interview in Florida the next morning and I had to get to the airport. So I was hitchhiking on the interstate, and that was super dangerous. Especially, I was not in a good part of Memphis. It was late at night. It was not safe, but I was desperate. I had to get to this. I had to do the job interview, man. So I think normally I would have, I couldn't get anybody on the phone. It was just like a nightmare. The whole thing was a nightmare. And I still to this day don't think I deserve to get thrown out of that car.
Well, it sounds like she was probably pissed you were leaving.
I think that was part of it. I think that was probably definitely part of it.
But wow, that's quite a stand. I mean, to kick you out on the interstate.
I think, I've been mad at people. I can't imagine dumping somebody out of the car because I was angry. And then I was I was on full on guy mode too, which this is how stupid guys are, particularly because I was probably in my late 20s at the time. It's where I was like, yeah, man, I will get out of the car. And then you get out of the car, and I'm just thinking, like, how hard can it be? I'm just going to find an exit. And then you find out that, oh, no, I'm still walking 30 minutes later.
Yeah. Yeah, that moment, we've all had those moments where, I'm going to make my stand here. And then it goes away so fast. The buzz of, I'll show you.
That flash anger.
So quickly.
It never goes your way, man.
Yeah. Well, Chris, thank you very much for doing this.
Oh, man, great. We've been talking about doing this. This is one of the few plus sides to this. We've been talking about setting it up, and then schedule has always been hard for both of us, and this makes it easy to do it through technology, man.
Yeah, I didn't have to drag you out to Staten Island, so.
Oh, I know. It's hard, although that ferry ride can be fun.
Yeah. Well, we found another silver lining in the pandemic. Stay healthy, stay sane. And hopefully we'll be on stage together soon.
I hope so, man. I hope so.
Yeah. Right. Bye, Chris.
Bye-bye. See you later.
You too, man. I do want to mention that not only is Chris a terrific stand-up comedian, he's also a great comedy teacher. He teaches stand-up and improv at the People's Improv Theater in Manhattan. His classes can be found at THEPIT, that's the pit, -NYC.com. Next up, we're going to do a little tribute to Batman here. First, we'll see some stand-up comedy where I talk about the Caped Crusader, and then the fabulous Amie Amis will perform the theme song from his 1960s TV show. Check it out. I had a good day today, good comedy day. I mean, well, now it's a good comedy day. I got a phone call this morning, my daughter had a flat tire. I had to go help her. I said, okay, where are you? All right, baby, just go into the Starbucks. I'll come down, I'll call AAA. So I go down there, and AAA's on the way. I said to my daughter, look, don't be upset. The tire's gonna work it out. What can I get you? What do you want? So it said a caramel macchiato. So I go up and I order a medium caramel macchiato. They call it a tall, whatever they call it. Grande, thank you. So I'm in there, and I don't do Starbucks, I don't drink coffee. So the woman says to me, can I have your name? I'm like, you want my name for a cup of coffee? She's like, yeah, we're gonna call you when the coffee's ready. I'm like, all right, can I give you any name? She's like, yeah. And I say, Batman? She's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, Batman. So I go over and across the room, and it's pretty crowded, you know. I'm waiting for my coffee. My glasses be so cool. Any minute now, they're gonna call coffee for Batman, you know. So about 3 minutes later, I hear caramel macchiato, Batman, and it was cool. I was like, wow, we are in Gotham City, you know. But I hadn't noticed there were a bunch of little kids in the place. And they're all looking up like this. One of them goes to the front window. He's like, oh my God, I see the Batmobile. I'm like, oh, no, how do I go up and get the cup of coffee now? Me in sweatpants and a hoodie. So I finally manned up. I went to the counter. I'm like, yeah, I'll take the coffee for Batman. And I turn around, all these little kids are like, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just Alfred.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That was terrific. And now here she is, via the magic of Zoom, the multi-talented Amie Amis. Hi, Amie Amis. How are you doing?
Hi, fine.
How are you getting through? Are we calling it a crisis? Are we calling it quarantine? I think we can call it a crisis. I think crisis is an accurate word.
Pandemic.
Pandemic. So,
Yeah.
you guys are all okay?
We're all fine. Yep, just hanging in there.
And you're keeping your sanity?
Yeah, I'm the caged tiger in the family. I'm the one who, I can't wait to get outside. And,
Yeah.
yeah, but my family, they love being inside, so for them it's easy.
Good. I've been running 3 or 4 times a week. That's the way I keep my sanity.
Oh, I did start doing sit-ups.
How many are you doing, more a day or something?
Yeah, so today was my day 3 and I did 40 sit-ups.
Oh, that's great. I've just been doing 20 a day. I've been doing 20 sit-ups a day, 20 push-ups a day, except on certain days I do a longer circuit called the Sterling workout, which is 50 jumping jacks, 40 squats, 30 push-ups, 20 leg ups, where you lift your leg up in the air and stick your butt in there.
I'm doing that too.
And then 10 burpees, and you do it 3 times. You do that 3 times. So I do that twice a week. So, but the days I don't do that, I try to do the push-ups and the sit-ups and the running. So
That's good.
Yeah, I don't look any different. I mean, I don't really feel that. Anyway, enough of that. You're still taking the acting lessons, Meisner?
I am. Yeah, we're doing it online. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's working?
It is working.
Good.
Yeah.
Anyway, I reached out to you because I loved your Batman video.
Thank you.
That was utter delight. Each little character had their own little personality. I mean, your Catwoman was terrific. You know.
I mean, her point of view about Batman was the most obvious for me.
Mm-hmm.
She hates, loves him. You know, she loves
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
So every time she said Batman, it was
What a great way to show off your multiple talents. I mean, to get the French horn in there and your music abilities. And that piano, that was the real piano sound. I mean, that little toy.
Yeah, I recorded. It's an actual baby grand toy piano. Baby grand toy piano?
Toy baby grand piano.
Toy baby grand.
That'd be it. So, did you enjoy the show as a child? Did you see Batman when you were a kid?
Yeah, I grew up on all of the reruns, on all shows from the 60s, some from the 50s, but a lot of shows from the 60s and the 70s. So, so anyway, I love all those theme songs so much. And being a musician, I also loved the composition of them too.
Yep, and I think you mentioned the same guy that wrote Batman wrote
The Odd Couple.
Odd Couple, another classic theme song, which unfortunately you can't sing that one, but
Right. But it'd be a good instrumental.
yeah. So, and later on we're going to see your Three's Company video, which I've already seen.
Yeah.
Which is also a delight. There's this fun videos. So thank you for doing them.
Thanks.
So what other performing are you doing? Have you done any of these Zoom plays or Zoom improv?
I haven't done any of those yet.
I haven't done them either.
Right. That would be. I did see that some people are doing some sketches, some Zoom sketches, like sketch shows, maybe.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that. I've heard about all these things. I haven't seen them. I haven't participated. They don't. I realized in this whole thing that a lot of the reasons I've always loved improv because of the collaboration, because of the people you meet, because of the work you create together in the room, and the energy you have with the audience. You know. So the whole Zoom thing, I kind of haven't seen the appeal of it, but this is dragging on a bit. So I think I think it's time. Hey, join them or don't do anything. That's the way it's looking.
Yeah, I guess if you think about it, it does get you more prepared for working in a film environment because you don't have a live audience to work off of.
And I think we're watching the birth of a new art form. I think this whole Zoom video thing is going to be something. You know, it's not going to just go away. It's not like we'll go running back to our old lives. I mean, this is going to develop into something.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been
Maybe
meeting.
it'll be more sci-fi fantasy after this.
Hopefully. My friend saw a Shakespeare play done online in the Zoom.
No way.
Where the actors went full in, they did costumes, they did makeup, they went off book. They just turned their cameras off when they weren't in the scene. So I do want to check it out. It sounds interesting.
Wow, cool.
So have you been just quarantined in Brooklyn the whole time? Have you been anywhere else?
No. I know people who left town, went to Virginia to try to get a surgery done, but they couldn't get in there either. Had to come back to New York, but they were gone for about 4 weeks.
Wow.
And other people who have summer homes or getaway places where they've gone to to get out of the congestion of the city. But we don't really have that, and also where we live, it's not congested, so we're perfectly happy.
Yeah, it's been fine. I'm in Staten Island, you're in Brooklyn, and yeah, it's been fine here, you know. As a matter of fact, I find the traffic is starting to creep up to the old levels. I'm like, there's a lot of cars on the road all of a sudden. Like for about a month, every day was like a Sunday morning. And now things are creeping up again. I think people are starting to drift away from the house a little bit. Mm-hmm. Well, Amy, let's take a look at the Three's Company video.
On a happy note.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, things are not bad here. I mean, it's you know, the weather's finally going to be getting better, I hope. I mean, it's going to be cold this weekend, but come on, it's middle of May. It's got to get warm sometime.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could call this the ultimate staycation. Yeah,
very much. And I think it's almost like God did us a favor by giving us a crappy spring. You know, like it hasn't been 70 and 80 degrees every day where you want to be at the beach.
Yeah.
You know, people are okay just staying in and binge watching. Have you binge watched anything good?
A lot of Peppa Pig and Space Rangers.
All right.
I have a 3.5-year-old.
Yeah.
But when I get time to watch my shows, I've been watching Ozark and Better Call Saul.
Nice. I love Better Call Saul.
Me too.
Yeah. I've been diving into the new Star Trek shows on the CBS. So
Picard
and Discovery.
And Discovery, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun stuff. I like it.
Yeah. I think maybe that's why I'm thinking, love, you could do some green screen. All of this is working us up for doing more green screen acting.
Yeah. And I think the guys that can composite, like, you know, like if you had a green screen, I had a green screen, theoretically we could do a scene together separately.
Yeah.
And then combine them. You know, well, I think we will see somebody's working on that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, Amy, continued good health and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you for these videos, and hopefully we'll be in the same room somewhere soon.
That sounds great.
Yeah. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Well, I want to thank Amy for coming in to have a conversation on Zoom with me. Amy's a very talented actress, singer, and musician. If you want to book her for any of these talents, you can find her at her website, amieamis.com. It's AMIEAMIS.com. I want to thank you for watching Mike's Alternate Reality Show. I want to thank my guests, Amie Amis and Chris Griggs. Here to finish the show, Amie Amis performing the theme song from Three's Company. I'll see you next time. Good night.
Come and dance on a floor. Come and dance on a floor. Take a step that is new. Take a step that is new. We've a lovable face that needs your face. Three's Company too. Come and knock on our door. Come and knock on our door. We've been waiting for you. We've been waiting for you. Where the kisses are hers and his. Three's Company too. You'll see that life is a ball again. Laughter's a calling for you. Down at our rendezvous. Down at our rendezvous. Three's Company too. Hey, you guys want to go to the Regal Beagle? Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah, let's go. Oh, wait for me, Jack.